Hello, this is a brief overview and set of instructions for using SafeAssign, the Blackboard version of anti-plagiarism software. My name is Dr. Greg Parsons and I'm with the Kaiser Graduate School. First thing we're going to look at is how to submit to the SafeAssign draft format. This assumes that you've already done your research and done your writing and you've done your revisions for spelling and grammar and you're ready to see how SafeAssign looks at your particular project. So you go to the SafeAssign screen on your assignment in the class and you go down to where it says View or Complete, and you'll click on that word link right there where the blue arrow. This will bring you to this screen. Now all you need to do is attach the file. So you see where the blue arrow is and it says File to Attach. You will browse through your files until you find the draft version that you're going to turn in, and then click on that. That will then put your file into the SafeAssign. You'll notice also I wrote on this particular one, this is a draft, just to identify which one I'm working with. Okay. Then you'll click Submit. SafeAssign will then go out and search the internet and databases to see how your article compares to things that already exist. One thing to mention at this point is SafeAssign is not just looking for plagiarism, it's looking to compare anything in your paper, including titles and authors and journal names. Anything that it can find in the internet, it will come back and say that already exists, that's a match. So now we want to see how our report matched up with what's on the internet. So here we go back to our article review in this case, and we click again on View and Complete. It'll bring us to this screen. Now you may need to wait a few minutes, from 2 or 3 minutes to 5 minutes to sometimes 15 minutes, depending on the length of your paper. And what's going on is SafeAssign is searching the World Wide Web and all the databases and libraries out there to find whether your paper can match up against anything that's out there. Okay, so it may take a little while. If you look and there's no percentage number and there's no check mark near the essay report column, it's not finished yet. Come back later. You'll see on this one I got a 72% matching. That means that 72% of what I wrote and put into my paper SafeAssign found out already in existence, and it also gave me a report. So what we want to do next is look at the report, which means you're going to click on that little check mark. When you do, you're going to come up with this screen, and the main thing that we're interested in at this point is down in the section where it says paper text. Everything in blue SafeAssign found out on the internet somewhere and indicates that where it's coming from. So for example, the title Business Ethics Should Study Illicit Businesses, number 1, well, that came from authormapper.com search, the number 1 item from suspected sources. Okay. So everything in blue SafeAssign found out in the cyber world. Everything in black are things that I wrote, made up, that it couldn't find. And that's all it's telling us. You'll notice that I have a couple of references from the article, and it's still highlighted in blue. And that's because SafeAssign doesn't know whether you've referenced it or not. It's telling you, not telling you whether you've plagiarized. It's simply telling you this exists out in the cyber world of literature. I, as the grader and reviewer of your paper, have to see did you properly reference things. Okay, so some people think, well, it's only marking plagiarism, and they wonder why something that they referenced is highlighted. It's not plagiarism. It's simply finding things that have already been written by somebody else. Okay, so it's not illegal to use these things. You do have to reference them, but the idea is when you're turning in a paper, you should be writing more of your own work. All right, so we've seen what we have here. To go back and make revisions, so I went back to my little article and rewrote the first paragraph. Now I still have the title and I have the author's name and the journal it came from. I also have a quote that I referenced, so it's not plagiarized. I'm telling you where it came from. And then I'm going to Safe Assign now as the final. And you'll notice I move the blue arrow down. I'm going to click on the View Complete for the final draft. Again, I browse, and I now attach the revised paper, and then I submit. I go through the same process and run my Safe Assign report again. I go back and I do the View Complete, and now you can see that much more of the body of my paper, the couple of paragraphs below the introduction part, are not highlighted in blue. As I expected and predicted, the quote that I put in, where it says, "As currently conceived, business ethics involves identifying norms that should govern business practices," that's still highlighted, even though there's a reference there, because Safe Assign is simply saying that's written by somebody else. Okay? So one of the key elements is to realize why things are being highlighted and why the percentages that Safe Assign says is non-original material, why they are what they are. So once you've gotten to this point, you as a student are done. You are only allowed 2 submissions to Safe Assign. The current guidelines that we're aiming for are 20% as a Safe Assign maximum percentage. That won't include your titles and journal references and author names, etc. It would include quotes and things that you're taking from other articles and putting in there. But the idea is we're looking for things that are written by you, your ideas, your words, your sentences, not cut and pasted from somebody else's work. Again, as I mentioned, Safe Assign only allows 2 attempts. One is a draft, one is a final. If you seem to have some kind of a problem, you may need to get in touch with your instructor to request the option of doing an additional submission or doing something else with your paper. This has been just a brief review of Safe Assign, and get in touch with me if you have any particular questions.